Surah al Ādiyāt is structured as a meticulously engineered acoustic and psychological journey. The opening verses of the ancient text are characterized by a relentless, breathless, and a violently surging kinetic energy. This specific phonetic and rhythmic turbulence is used to build an atmosphere of total upheaval, measured, precise. This initial chaos contrasts with the text's conclusion, where the surging rhythm is engineered to hit a wall of absolute, unbreakable stillness. The ultimate objective of this 11-verse structure is to diagnose and shatter the psychological constraints of human materialism. The text does not rely on logical persuasion alone. It uses raw rhythm as an emotional delivery mechanism to reach past the intellect and strike the human ego directly. The text provides a structure that connects the mechanics of a cavalry charge to internal human greed and a final cosmic resurrection. The architecture of the surah is built on the principle that the frame is from the image and the image from the frame. We can identify three domains in this architecture. The first is the physical frame, which depicts the battlefield. The second is the internal frame, focusing on the human soul. The third is the cosmic frame, which portrays the resurrection. Understanding the surah requires viewing these three columns as aligned mirrors reflecting the same chaotic reality. The first 5 verses focus exclusively on the movements of charging warhorses. The text details the sequence: the panting breath of the charge, hooves striking stone to ignite sparks, the dawn raid, and rising clouds of dust. The movement culminates as the horses plunge into the center of the enemy ranks, turning order into instant chaos. The acoustic design of these verses relies on harsh, crackling, and rumbling Arabic consonants. This specific sound profile forces the reader's voice to mimic the physical roughness of the scene. This physical framing immerses the reader in an atmosphere of violent animal instinct before revealing the true subject of the text. In verses 6 through 8, the focus shifts. The horses are an oath sworn upon a hidden reality within the human psyche. This is baseline state of the human nafs, or self, when it is emptied of iman, faith. It is defined by ingratitude and a specific love of khair. This state manifests as denial, selfish preference, and an intense miserliness regarding wealth. The psychological mechanism of this greed is a love of self that translates into the obsessive hoarding of superficial, earthly assets. Without a higher spiritual connection, human ambition becomes a trapped and tropic loop, bound by the limits of a lifespan and earthly constraints. Regardless of the scale of a person's ambitions, they remain structurally confined within this psychological prison of the self. When faith enters the heart, it transforms these values from hoarding to altruism and mercy. The turbulence of the galloping warhorses is the structural equivalent to the frantic and blind greed of the faithless human soul. Verses 9 and 10 serve as the pedagogical cure designed to shatter the constraint of the nafs. The imagery depicts a violent exhumation of the graves and the extraction of secrets buried within the chest. The Arabic term buathira, or scattering, carries a harsh phonetic weight that fractures the boundary of the self. The text applies the kinetic violence of the opening cavalry charge directly to the hidden contents of the human heart. This visualization of cosmic upheaval forces the mind to abandon its obsession with earthly wealth. The text asks, does he not know when this occurs, but intentionally leaves the consequence unstated? By omitting the exact outcome, the text forces the imagination to pursue every terrifying possibility, which amplifies the psychological shock. The physical violence of resurrection is used to break the illusion of earthly permanence, rendering the hoarding of wealth structurally absurd. After 10 verses of escalating kinetic energy, of galloping and scattering, the reader is left at a precipice. Verse 11 executes a sudden, absolute dead stop to all preceding motion across the physical, internal, and cosmic domains. The final verse states, "Indeed, their Rob, concerning them, on that day, is surely all aware." While divine awareness is constant, awareness on that day carries a specific weight within this context. This stillness implies an awareness backed by inescapable reckoning and recompense. Following the noise of greed and physical destruction, the ultimate reality is one of silent and absolute divine observation. The text moves from a breathless, clamorous start to a resolution characterized by profound stillness. The physical elements of the opening verses, the dust, the sparks, and the hooves, function as tools to reveal specific internal human flaws. Throughout the 11 verses, the meaning, expression, and rhythm remain synchronized. Surah al Ādiyāt utilizes the chaos of the physical world to expose the prison of the ego, only to dissolve both in the stillness of ultimate accountability.